Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Saturday, March 11th, around 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 2023. A large explosion at Merapi volcano sent pyroclastic flows up to 2 kilometers down the flanks of the mountain, sending, villagers running for their lives. We'll have more coverage in just a moment, but the big story: rivers are washing away roads, and now a levee has broken, forcing 1,700 to evacuate near Santa Cruz. Keep calm. It's boom time. We did predict the potential for major flooding calamity, and we are seeing it now. This is the Payaro River levee. It broke early Saturday morning, forcing immediate evacuations in the small community of Payaro, California. This is near Santa Cruz. Now, also, roads are washing away in Santa Cruz County. This one in particular cut about 300 people off. And you can see them there working heavily on the problem. And it's all because of the atmospheric river that these floods are happening. And it's raining on top of tens of feet of snow. Ho, ho, ho. Here, the California Governor's Office of Emergency Management earlier today tweeted out the levee break, and we retweeted it over on Oppenheimer Ranch Project. So go over there and follow us at Diamond the Dave as we take a quick look at the volume of water flowing out of here. Now, the river should be there in between the trees, but it has risen above the trees, above the floodplain, and now over the levee. So lots of farmland in this region is going to be damaged, destroyed, otherwise made useless. And this is going to just sit here and drain out. So that's what's going on there. And you can come check out more up-to-date stories before the show happens at Oppenheimer Ranch Project at Diamond the Dave on the tweet box. Monterey County levee breach prompts evacuations and water rescues near Payaro. Let's see what they have to say.
On this first alert weather day, we begin with Justin Andrews. He is live in the Santa Cruz Mountains with a stunning scene in SoCal. Justin, what can you tell us?
Yeah, I'll give it to you exactly how the guy we interviewed gave it to me. He says he's never seen anything like this in his 40 years of living here. Take a look right now. You see crews are working to repair this roadway. Yeah, a huge gaping hole here on North Main Street in SoCal. And you can see the crews off in the distance working to repair this. This huge gaping hole here, this is where the road gave way, trapping so many people in this community. Let me take you to the video here we got minutes ago that shows you the extent of the damage we're talking about. Bates Creek runs underneath Main Street here, and the creek washed away the roadway. People who live in this area tell me there are well over 200 homes up in the hills here. That means so many people are trapped right now. The road is the only way in and the only way out of this community, and this is certainly a sight to see, and dozens of neighbors have come down to see this. Many are obviously shocked.
It's unimaginable.
Pretty crazy what's going on in Cali. There's also downed trees and blocking roads in the area too. So just overwhelming amount of precipitation over the last few weeks for California. And we've got more snow, a New Jersey weather maker. Maybe some snow for North Jersey. A strong nor'easter could bring snow, rain, flooding, and 60-mile-per-hour winds to the region Monday and Tuesday. Full forecast coming up in just a minute as Maine braces for this mid-March nor'easter like a beaster. And California, Sierra chain controls are still in effect, which means it's snowing at high elevation, adding to the record snowfall. Maybe the snowiest year ever recorded for California. And we're not out of the picture either. 40 inches to hit Colorado resorts this weekend. They're talking here about Aspen with the biggest snow totals. We're only looking at 24 to 30 inches down here in Pagosa Springs. But ding dang, March is the biggest snow season for most of the Rockies. Winter conditions producing significant travel hazards in the upper Midwest and California mountains. Winter storms will produce heavy snow and blowing snow in the upper Midwest above 6,500 feet in California and will make travel difficult to impossible, while lower elevation heavy rain in California could cause flooding, and we just saw that, and breaking levees. High winds will impact travel and produce critical fire weather threats for the southern high plains. Severe storms and heavy rain is also possible in the lower Mississippi Valley. Winter storm watches and warnings up for the Virginia mountains, as well as a little pocket here in southwestern Ohio, the Northeast as well. Blizzard conditions up in North Dakota, most of the state. We also have blizzard watches up here for northwest Minnesota and northeastern Montana. Winter storm watches and warnings on the Sierras. Flood warnings and watches for all central California and the foothills, all the way down to the coast here, and heavy wind warnings for eastern New Mexico and Texas, West Texas, the nexus of the Schmexis. Now let's take a look at the snowfall totals, shall we? Let's walk it through the rest of the weekend here. It brings us to Monday morning. The system is sitting in Iowa, snowing right now. It's going to blow up tomorrow and bring some heavy totals up there to northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota. Say it ain't soda, but it is. And by Monday night, Tuesday morning, this system's going to bomb out here in the Northeast with heavy snow in eastern New York State. Looks like western Massachusetts and southern Vermont there. Take a look at those totals. Another system will come across, bringing record depths to northern Wisconsin and Michigan there. Holy macaroni. That is going to start Thursday, March 16th, 17th, 18th, and then the Northeast is going to pick up a little bit more snow from that system as the snow continues to pile up in the West in record fashion. Holy macaroni. Europe is doing pretty good too, and the UK, hey, they've had a snow deficit, but the entire Ireland, even Scotland, is going to be picking up some heavy snow, as well as the Alps and Greta's boyhood home in the southern regions, as well as Eirik Butenhus's Denmark could be seeing some spring depth in the snow totals. Seismic update, no quakes of note. Most recent quake here in Guatemala and followed by one in Alaska. All is quiet, even over at Iceland. The seismic swarm that began at Katla volcano has come to an end. This is the last flurry of activity just in the last 12 hours, and it is pretty quiet there. But we're going to keep a close eye on Katla because when that baby goes boom, the skies go dark. Here we are over, speaking of dark skies, Merapi volcano here in Indonesia darkened the skies for a huge swath of communities. People went running for their lives, clearly as you would, as hot gas and pyroclastic flows came down the mountain. As you can see those pyroclastic flows in the foreground here. Let me blow that up. Now these pyroclastic flows that we're going to re-show here can move up to hundreds of miles an hour and be 1,000+ degrees. So it literally burns the flesh right off the bone. This wasn't a particularly high eruption, but it did affect some communities, and pyroclastic flows are never fun. See how close this is running down here by these homes? Holy macaroni. Merapi volcano, massive hot avalanches descend on the southeastern flank, threatening villages. This was today after an uptick yesterday, which we just showed you the video from, a series of intense pyroclastic density currents continuing at Merapi. No other volcanic activity of note. As we come over to SolarHam and our space weather news update, the sun should not be this quiet at Solar Max, all the way down in the B range. Hey, I wonder if it's like we're in the grand solar minimum, perhaps. Solar indices have dropped 20 points at least, down to 157 here. And the 3-day geomagnetic forecast is all calm. KP sitting at 1.5. And the sun is quiet. Even though there are sunspots on the disk, they just are not doing much of anything. Now, we shared this months ago when it came out, October of 2022. Scientists discovered massive ocean near Earth's core. I've been getting some questions via email about it. Here is a good article to get you up to speed. Now, the study confirms something that was only a theory, namely that ocean water accompanies subducting slabs and thus enters the transition zone, and there very well may be a lot of water trapped inside of the Earth. As the Pentagon UFO chief says, alien mothership is in our solar system. Oh my God. Could it get any worse on planet Earth? Well, yes, it just has. According to someone at NASA, there is the possibility that an extraterrestrial mothership and smaller probes may be visiting planets in our solar system. The head of Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Research Office noted in a report draft Tuesday. I can't make this up. I just report the news. As Texas troopers issue stark travel warning to Americans after 3 women vanished crossing the border last week to simply visit a flea market. 4 others that were going down there for some medical procedures. 2 of them were killed and kidnapped. And 550 Americans are now missing in Mexico. So do not cross the border in Texas into Mexico if you value your life. It's that simple. Now, guess what? Daylight savings time is coming up. The clock will move forward by an hour on Sunday, March 12th at 2 a.m. That's in the morning. And we're going to lose an hour of sleep. That's the last thing anyone needs. So take some time on Sunday to recover. And a good way to recover, or even just a nightcap, would be to follow up this update with Leah and I's newest podcast, Cosmic Dust and Cosmic Rays. What do we really know? And the Frank Oppenheimer connection. That's coming up at 7:30 Mountain Time, right after the video. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Share this with like-minded people. Support the work we do. Become a Patreon. And most importantly, be safe. We love you.